Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we look at what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now today I want to talk about crypto and digital currencies, and it seems the Russian president's a fan. At a recent conference, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has stated that Bitcoin and other digital currencies cannot be banned, as they will continue to develop regardless of the state of the other currencies, and particularly the dollar. He said, from Russia's perspective, a currency that cannot be banned is particularly attractive. He said, it's imperative that we embrace all new financial technologies. Now, what initiatives has Russia already implemented in this regard? Well, in a recent statement, the Russian president asserted that Bitcoin and other digital currencies will continue to develop. And he says the development of such new technologies are inevitable. For example, he said it's difficult to envisage a scenario in which the world governments could actually ban Bitcoin. He says there's no obstacles to its development. It's unlikely that any other government will ever be able to prohibit the use of it or any other electronic means of payment. I suppose he means anything other than SWIFT electronic payment system. He said it's inconceivable that any government would attempt to prohibit Bitcoin or other digital currencies. He said because there are new technologies, and whether the future of the dollar or ever, these currencies are going to continue to evolve and develop in one way or another, because they're a way of driving down and reducing costs and increasing the security and reliability of payments. Said Putin at the VTB Bank's Russia Calling Forum. He said, Russia's in the process of developing a legislative framework with the aim of clarifying the legal status of cryptocurrencies in regards to mining, investment, taxation and their trading. He said, in light of the current geopolitical climate and the associated pressure on cross-border transactions, the potential for cryptocurrencies as a means of settling international payments is becoming increasingly attractive, says Nikolai Valivov, who's a strategic researcher at the TR investment company. Now, it's worth noting that as of November the 1st, a law on the legislation of crypto mining came into force in Russia. Then on the 29th of November, Vladimir Putin signed a law that recognises digital currencies as property. Now, income derived from cryptocurrency transactions within the threshold of 2.4 million rubles per annum, which is about $22,000, will be subject to the personal income tax at a rate of $13,000, while the amount exceeding this threshold will be subject to the rate of 15%. Now, before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel and my website, SCOBRICSinsight.com, to further develop it. Now, you can do this by making a small donation, which you can do by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the video screen. Everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me, and I'm now thanking you all just for watching. Now, since September, some participants in foreign trade activities in Russia have been able to carry out cross-border payments in cryptocurrencies in an experimental mode under the supervision of the Central Bank of Russia, according to Valivov. However, there's no actual information yet on the practical implementation of these payments. Exporters have confirmed their experience of using cryptocurrencies in cross-border transactions. According to Maria Giric, who's an analyst at the Russia OECD Presidential Academy, notes that the idea of creating a platform for cryptocurrency settlements under the auspices of the central bank is also being looked at. Conversely, Russia is developing a digital ruble based on the new technologies of blockchain. Now, it is anticipated that it will be utilised not only in international settlements, but within the federal budget system from the 1st of July 2025. So Russia's continued to develop the necessary infrastructure to make such operations convenient for businesses and to reduce costs. In particular, the plan is to introduce an experimental legal regime to allow banks to test methods of remote identification of clients and verification. Naturally, this must be in a way it doesn't create risks in terms of anti-money laundering legislation, Putin said. But Russia must support the development of cryptocurrencies as modern financial instruments. I mean, he says its payment system is anonymous and it's not subject to sanctions from the US, the EU or other vassals of the US who want to control their money supply. Plus, there are no financial restrictions on external transactions, and that represents a significant challenge. Now, the process of integrating Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies into the global financial systems already started. I mean, in many Arab and Asian countries, cryptocurrencies are being as an accepted method of payment on par with cash and non-cash formats. Now, following the inauguration of Donald Trump, this process is likely to accelerate because it seems that he's a big fan, as a Trump's pledged to make the United States the global capital of cryptocurrencies. Never been one for hyperbole, is he, Trump? He's even suggested including bitcoins in the US gold and foreign exchange reserves, and that would have a par value with our gold, securities, debt obligations and precious metals. Now, in light of Trump's threat to impose 100% duties on and tariffs on those countries that abandon the dollar in favour of BRICS currency or any other particular currency, the idea of creating a single currency will be postponed indefinitely. That will also help promote cryptocurrencies, as Chernoff, who's an analyst at Freedom Finance Global. Now, another advantage of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is that they can use for payments immediately, where the digital ruble is still in its testing phase, and as are other central bank digital currencies. Now, for it to be viable, it will only require establishing the infrastructure, not just in Russia, but also around and beyond all its borders, which may take a considerable amount of time. Now, the next step is to introduce Bitcoin and other crypto payments for exports and imports as soon as possible, with the long-term goal of connecting up the digital ruble as well. Now, the currency will need to be converted into other countries' currency or even to the US dollar to pay for exports and imports. But it's possible that this can be done through cryptocurrencies at a cross rate, because it's technically impossible to track and prohibit such operations. Now, the digital ruble platform also offers the potential for foreign financial organizations to connect up within Russia. However, it should be noted that the digital ruble and Bitcoin are different types of payment instruments. For instance, the FATF categorizes central bank digital currencies as electronic money, while cryptocurrencies are defined as a virtual currency, which is a distinct type of payment instrument. Now, the digital ruble is no different from non-cash funds and ruble accounts. It's simply a different digital form of expressing the ruble. Now, the only similarity between cryptocurrencies and the digital ruble is the use of the distributed ledger technology, as well as the ability to use such instruments in settlements as Gurich. Now, the key differentiating factor between Bitcoin and digital currencies is the responsible for their issuance entity and its governance. Now, the digital ruble will be obviously issued by the central banks in Russia and is backed by the non-digital form of the currency, the regular standard ruble. And its value is dependent on the monetary policy of the Central Bank of Russia. Bitcoin is not dependent on the actions of central banks and regulatory authorities. Its generation is based on a pre-established algorithmic process without the involvement of any central bank. I mean, transfers in digital rubles are fully transparent, while those in Bitcoin are entirely anonymous and invisible. So it's not possible to rule out the possibility of a hacker attack on centralized infrastructure of central banks. However, it's now considered virtually impossible to hack the decentralized architecture and the cryptographic protection of countries like Bitcoin. So in terms of volatility, the central bank can influence the ruble exchange rate through interventions, but it can't do anything with Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and neither can the US government. However, verbal interventions do have an effect, as evidenced by the significant growth and subsequent reaching of $100,000 mark by Bitcoin following Trump's victory in the US elections. However, in practice, nothing's actually changed according to Chernoff. He says it's worth noting that there are many stories about the volatility of Bitcoin. We've all seen it. I mean, Bitcoin was first introduced in 2009 following the global financial crisis of 2007, 2008. And its value has gone from a few cents to tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, in 2011, Bitcoin had a growth rate of 1,317%, followed by 5,428% in 2013 and 1,375% in 2017 and a 64% decline in 2022. So the history of Bitcoin has been up and down by almost 80% in the last 5 years. And that period was marked by the collapse of several crypto exchanges and legal action to fraud, Sam Bankman-Fried, etc. However, in 2023, Bitcoin saw a recovery and it's up by 157% and reached 100,000 by the end of the year. So that's Russia and its attitude to crypto and a bit of its history. So thanks for watching. Please like and share and subscribe. And if you want to help me, click on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen and make a donation, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.